band beating on the good times, moonlight racing from the grave, string band playing more that honky tonks, pretty young thing going dancing in the rain.
There's a handful of games every year that are marketed to be the next big jump in gaming. The Finals, our golden egg, was not only marketed as a AAA title, but actually delivered in concept. The Finals is a bit more special than people are giving it credit for. The genre of FPS shooters you see rarely adapts into new concepts that get much attention of a relatively small group of gamers like you, the heavy class that dolphin dives into buildings with absolute no support throwing the game. You, the light class player who solo queues and can't hit a shot for his life. And also you, the medium class player with no meds, W King bouncing your chromosomes off a turret just to die to a 1v3. You see, the Finals isn't your average game. The Finals is the answer for all of us hardcore fans of dying games. Some of us miss Battlefield. No, not the new Battlefields, but, you know, the golden era. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. Some miss Overwatch. Well, I've never been a big fan of Overwatch, but I do understand a fair amount of the community believed at one point when it was at its prime, it was just peak gaming. And with Overwatch 2, it's just not suffice. Valorant, Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, it doesn't matter what the title is. We've all thought these games were peak meta, peak esport games, but eventually we all fell off. And as how we were unsure about the games we used to love, the Finals itself is currently in its own identity crisis. And it's troubling, but not the end of the world. In an era where no matter how big a studio is or their budget, games can release like trash. And in our case, luckily, the Finals did not release like trash, but it was still underwhelming. So the closed beta was unfathomably amazing, truly one of a kind. Jumping in the game, just dropping people left and right, winning games back to back. The rush you got, you just needed more, but it was short-lived. What the world saw when Embark dropped those trailers, bro, was just pure greatness. After the closed beta completed, everyone thought the same thing, and it was, yo, what the fuck is this game, and how do we get it? I swear, like, it left all of us bored and left us just looking at our Steam library every day, hoping for a release date, looking at the wish list. Sure, during the closed beta, the friends list didn't work. Sure, you couldn't join your friends. Sure, solo queuing was trash, but somehow, the closed beta was the best experience I've ever had throughout the whole game's lifespan, as of now. The open beta was essentially just a test for crossplay compatibility, make sure their shop works, and just to see if they can most likely handle the load of all the people jumping into the servers. I'm assuming essentially an open stress test. But other than that, with all the batshit crazy issues we've had with the open beta, it was still fun, bro. Like, not a lot of games can say that you can be actively broken. Like, okay, the only game that is actively broken but fun that I can think of off the top of my head is Star Citizen. That's it. There is nothing else. Like, you'll play a beta from COD, you'll be like, this is trash. Well, the same trash they've been feeding you for 10 years. A whole different topic. But anyways, that was the open beta, and that leads us into the whole release segment. That leads us to now. The Finals have officially started Season 1. Finally, we're all in. We get to do 50 plus placement games in order to play ranked. And then when we finally get to solo queue into ranked, we will fucking lose because we're going to get paired with people who apparently play ranked games with their monitor off. But they did fix the friends list. I'll give them that. To be fair, even though this all sounds very negative, I insanely love the game that Embark gave us. It's extraordinary. Not only because I had the amazing privilege to kill Shroud recently. I'll play that clip right now. But also, it's just the idea that no matter how bad you're losing, no matter how buggy it can be, for some reason, it's that one game that you're totally fine alt-4ing from and just keep loading back in until you're just working again, hoping for a fluid server. That way you can just knock out all the frags you need. But other than that, as you all know, the release is here and it's pretty healthy. We're all enjoying it. The battle pass, when it comes to the cosmetics, you know, that's all debatable. Everyone has their own personal preference. But this might be kind of only me here, but ideally I kind of hope that they reintroduce those Halloween skins we got from the betas and give us kind of like an exclusive version for being part of the closed betas and the open betas, kind of like how the early days in Fortnite, apparently if you bought a Skull Trooper outfit, Epic Games gave you guys like an exclusive purple version of the skin as like a thanks to playing their game early and kind of just thanking the community for sticking through them even though they were trying to get over their humps, kind of like the bugs, the glitches. That's something that I personally would like to see, but other than that, that would lead us into the segment of just wrapping things up so we can sum up the whole video on what we want to see put into the game, maybe some things we would like fixed, and possibly some quality of life improvements. Don't get me wrong, I am biased and I want to see this game succeed as much as you do, yet I can look past the game's current flaws as long as there is a esport push by the devs. I want to see them build a formula that feeds into the game's lore. The Finals, a game show that hosts the best players from every genre of professional esports to prove which team can master multiple game mechanics to essentially claim first place. Right now, the Finals has a good fan base and all they need to do is give us more to invest into besides just gameplay. We need a story and making themselves the Fortnite of esports essentially. Like, stick with me here, it seems kind of far-fetched, but Fortnite right now just recently became the mainstream version of Roblox and is overshadowing all its competitors for integrating everything into one. The Finals, from length to scope, is the embodiment of what esports stands for. If every game that has the following a pro scene, it's like the difference of basketball, football, baseball, etc. But in the Finals case, it puts mechanics of the best games in one home, essentially like the Olympics. The Finals is literally the fucking Olympics of gaming. It just needs guidance. Embark has a golden egg and needs to make sure their endgame plan is to be the Olympic equivalent for esport gaming. Embark can even rank matches where people are all locked into one class size to determine how good you are versus others. So let's say even a heavy, light, or medium class, kind of like weighing in the UFC, you can only fight people within that same class. The way when looking to build a team for ranked, that way when you're looking at other people's stats, you can notice that, like, okay, maybe he's a medium class and is a gold badge for ranked, but you can also see other statistic data about the player, about like how good he plays against equally weight classed ranks. So maybe that subdivision of him playing against other mediums in a whole lobby, like it could be a free-for-all essentially ranked game, and then from there you could determine if he can outplay mediums at those higher ranked divisions. That way you have more confidence when you're inviting people into games. It's just some quality of life improvements that a game of this statute can definitely like build off of. But other than that, the main things I would like to see implemented in this game is just mainly custom team like clan names, you know, just essentially use AI voice to word over all the team names you guys can possibly think of, or anyone can, to make their own little clan. Also, less movement penalties. Allow like your whole team to essentially like b-hop and slide with all your momentum to get to sites quicker, because we all know if you have a heavy class or you have a heavy on your team, he can be sluggish, bro, and it takes a fat minute. But if you're able to build momentum for your heavy with your jump pads and you're able to slide off roofs correctly, then from there I think we should be able to allow heavies to b-hop their way until all of that propelled energy is gone. That's probably the best case for movement I hope to see fix or implemented into the game. Then also, hopefully, this might seem far-fetched as well, but in-game prestige system. like to give better like value to the free-to-play players. They get more chances to unlock cool gear, but also it rewards all of us for grinding the game, kind of like maybe some of you remember, or maybe some of you guys never had the chance to do it, but back in MW3 and Black Ops 2 days, the prestige system was beautiful, bro. You could just waste your life away playing video games and just knocking those bad boys out and resetting them. Oh, you'll have the time of your life. And I hope the finals can integrate some kind of concept like that in order to just kind of prolong the lifespan of this game. Then also, I want to see like less RNG into the way your bullets play and the means of the mechanics, more recoil control, kind of like in Counter-Strike, where everyone can kind of remember those patterns. Kind of add a little bit more like of a skill gap into the game. That way, you know, like if someone's hitting their shots, they're pretty cracked. Like they put some time into this game and they deserve their frag. Then also, this is a little more on the funny side, but make emotes cancel faster. Currently, if you emote in the game, you can't realistically move out of that animation unless you shoot. So, like, if you just left-click, boom, you might give away your position after, like, emoting after killing someone. It's just kind of annoying. I just hope that you're able to just move out of it. That way you can kind of spam them just for the fun. Then also, give the jump pad boost, maybe like a 5%, like 7% max, like increase into the means of like how much it's able to propel or like lunge you forward when you jump off of it. Because I noticed there's been a fair amount of times, you can all agree, where when you're on that jump pad and you try to launch somewhere, you barely make it, or you don't, and you're just hitting the rim and you just fall back to the floor. It's annoying. And I think that little 5% to 7% boost can really change a lot of issues with that. Then also, even though I like heavies myself, I feel like we should kind of nerf the mesh shield in the means of length. I think it should be a little bit, you know, a little bit more contained, but also allow it to recharge a little, like at least 5% quicker, if that. Because say hypothetically in a 1v3 scenario, or even 1v2, your team dropped out because they're trash, and then from there you're left with a shield. All 3 or 2 of them are just busting your shield off. Once it breaks off, you're like cleared empty for 10 seconds. And if there's nothing in front of you, you're literally crapped out. But the idea of the 5% charge, it gives you more time to kind of like try to hide behind a tree, maybe grab a canister to blow up some goo. That way you can have something between you guys. But I think that would go very far. It would also nerf the idea of like how long that spread can go, so your team can't like have a kind of an X-axis in the means of cross-firing while your shield's up. So it kind of balances the 3-piece scenario in this gameplay. And then also on top of that, maybe nerf the light shotgun, just not in the means of damage or anything. I think that's fine. It's justifiable to get a 2-shot with that because, you know, it's a sawed off, and doesn't matter what game it is. If you're using a sawed off shotgun, they're normally cracked. It's just maybe kind of increase the reload speed, maybe an extra second. And then from that point forward, maybe we can, I don't know how to really explain this. Maybe you see, the finals kind of exerts itself as the game show. So, like, you can't have a game show without mini games. So, I think they should implement, like, fun, not even seasonal, but every, like, 2 weeks, bring, like, a fun mini game. I've thought a few, maybe, like, the floor is lava, essentially, like, you know, just lava keeps coming up, and kind of make it feel like a battle royale, but not. Maybe put 50 to 100 players, but it needs prox chat. And the idea is that it's just going to be a chaotic lobby, and it's either you pair in with your 3-stack, or you can even solo queue in there just to get the fill in more quickly, because I don't know how much people are going to be willing to play a mini game, especially because all of us are sweaty since we're a big fan of the finals. But that would be a fun mini game to throw in there. And the most crucial thing I would like to see integrated into this game is a replay system that just allows a free cam mode with no HUD elements at all. That way, people like myself, bigger content creators that actually do this and have the free time to do it, give them like a tool where they're able to kind of flare out their videos with more like I guess, like, I don't know how to explain it, just make their videos look better. And the idea is that with the free cam, they can make more cinematic shots, and with those cinematic shots, it kind of just pulls more attention into the game. And that's free attention ad, I guess, marketing for Embark Studios, because they don't need to put any money into that. It's just a community that has passion and wants to see this game succeed, have more tools to make the game seem more, I guess, beautiful to new people that haven't seen it, and it could probably help with the traffic flow of getting new players into the game. But that's currently where we're at with the finals. It's definitely been a bumpy road, but as of right now, I think we're good. Even though it seems kind of weird, and we randomly got hit with the launch, and some of us thought we were going to get more than we did. But at this point, all we can do is just kind of hope the devs kind of listen to our feedback. I know the best way is you guys just reach out to their Discord server, put in your 2 cents into the chat, and that's pretty much all we can do for now. But at the end of the day, Embark Studios is doing insanely good work. Like, just to put it in perspective, like all the bigger companies that have failed us recently, and the means of launching their games, how buggy and shitty they are. But the difference is, like, they have a name behind it, they have the capital behind it, and somehow they were still able to fail epically. And now you got a new company up and running, and this is not only the only title they're working on. They're working on Arc Raiders, which looks really awesome if you ask me. It's just a different hemisphere of gaming. It's very niche compared to what we're getting in the finals, which can be classified as niche as well. But that's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are big on the finals content, I'm going to be making more. Sadly, I don't have as much free time as I used to, so it takes a while for me to make a vid. But I try to put some more effort into it as of recently, along with hopefully the next video being kind of top tier list for weapons. I'm quite sure there's already plenty of them out there, but if you guys ever seen my Rogue Company videos, I don't really take stats up to like its word. What I do is I try to like put videos together and kind of like get it down to the millisecond and just try to see realistically how are these weapons working, and that way you get a better understanding if the TTK is more viable with your play style. Like, are you the kind of person who played CS and your flick shots are on point and you just need a gun that's able to 3-tap someone, or have you played COD your whole life and you're used to drilling people in the body? We're going to be able to figure out which guns are better off that deterministic value, who can prosper off what kind of gameplay. And that's essentially what this game is. It's just, once again, integrating all the mechanics of every game fucking possible into one, and just gearing yourself into remembering what you used to love playing, what were you the greatest at, and then from there kind of relive that and kind of, you know, invest it into your mechanics into the game. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy, and I will catch you in the finals.
Sunshine beating on the good times, moonlight racing from the grave, string band playing more of that honky-tonk's pretty young thing going dancing in the rain.